Welcome back everyone to another episode of Vegetarian Cooking with JJ. As promised, in this week's episode, I'm going to be making a couple of vegan cheeses. One is a vegan Parmesan, which you can sprinkle on your pasta or any other dish that you might like. And the other one is going to be a gratable vegan Mozzarella. These are the cashews that we're going to be soaking for 1 hour for the vegan mozzarella component, but we're going to get started with our vegan Parmesan component, and there's no soaking involved there. So without further ado, let's head over to the kitchen and get cooking! Here we go, we got half a cup of cashews. We'll pop them straight in, popping them straight into our food processor. We've got a 1/4 cup of our sunflower seeds, our raw organic sunflower seeds. Pop them in. We have our Bob's Red Mill Nutritional Yeast Flakes. We're gonna get a 1/4 cup's worth. And try not to make a mess. Don't get too concerned, you can always clean up after. Here's our 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. Pop it in. And we're gonna get a half teaspoon of salt. Of course, you can make adjustments. And finally, we got our half teaspoon of our garlic powder. And if you want to add a little bit of walnuts, like a handful of walnuts, you can go ahead. Of course, you can make adjustments if you feel that it may need a little bit more nutritional yeast or salt. Some people who are trying to avoid salt may just want to add a couple of pinches of salt because the nutritional yeast already provides an umami flavor. Also, you got the garlic powder in there as well. And you're more than welcome to add any other additional seasonings you might find that would be suitable for you, such as Italian seasoning, maybe a little bit of onion powder if you wish. But this is a simple recipe, we're just keeping it simple. It's something you can use for any meal. If you don't want to spend too much time worrying about flavor, it's an easy way to add flavor to a meal. So now is the fun part, the blending up. You want to be sure not to overblend it. If you do overblend it, it will turn into a type of cashew butter. This is the texture we're going for. Once you blend up this nutritional yeast mixture with the nuts and the seeds, you will see that it releases a beautiful cheesy aroma, minus the cheese, of course. Of course, you can just use the nutritional yeast flakes if you want to, if you don't feel like making anything, if you're in a rush. But once you have this blended up, you'll have it ready to go for all of your meals. Well, maybe not all of your meals, but some of your meals. It's quite convenient to have, and it's nice with that texture, the combination of the texture and the flavor. Pop it in a container or jar of your choice, and if you want it to last even longer, pop it in the fridge. Now on to our vegan mozzarella. We're gonna get juice out of this fresh lemon. We're gonna get 2 tablespoons worth. And we need 3 tablespoons of our tapioca starch. And 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. Use refined coconut oil if you don't want that coconut taste. We'll be using 1 tablespoon of agar powder and a half a teaspoon of salt. So first of all, I'll tell you what we're not going to do. We're not going to bother washing this food processor because it's going to have a similar flavor profile. So we do not need to wash out or rinse out the food processor. So we'll just get it positioned here properly. Make sure it's nice and sturdy. Whew. So first of all, we'll take our soaked cashews with the liquid and carefully pour it in without spilling it on ourselves. Next, we'll pop in our lemon juice, a half a teaspoon of our salt here, our coconut oil, and 2 tablespoons of our nutritional yeast. Our tapioca starch, 3 tablespoons in the mix. So here we go. I think that's good enough. Ideally, you want the liquid to be smooth. This is where a high-powered blender comes in handy. We'll pour in our liquid into a small saucepan. Whisk it constantly, and we're going to add our tablespoon of agar. Whisking it in this manner will ensure that it's smooth as possible. Once it starts bubbling away, you'll reduce the heat to low or off and let it simmer for 2 to 5 minutes. You can see the consistency is quite thick now, so I'm immediately transferring it to a parchment-lined glass dish. It will be easier to pop out. I'm just smoothing it out a little bit. We'll let it reach room temperature before we transfer it to the fridge. Here's our vegan Parmesan. I'm ready to sprinkle it on and try it with some bow tie pasta here. It's that time again, everyone. It's taste testing time. So first of all, we're gonna try our vegan Parmesan with this pasta that I made. Simply delicious. As expected, it's great and it's perfect. A simple way to add that umami flavor to your dish. Feel free to share your experience and what you prefer to do if you make your own vegan Parmesan. Our vegan mozzarella has been in the fridge for a few hours now, so we're going to pop it out and remove the parchment. Now I'm just going to grate our vegan mozzarella. There we go, we got our shreds and it will be good for some pizza. You may want to coat them with some cornstarch or tapioca starch. This vegan mozzarella melted beautifully on our pizza. Okay, so we have our pizza here. It happens to be gluten-free because that's all the flour I had. But anyway, our vegan mozzarella has melted nicely and I'm just gonna try it out. See how it's tasting. Just take a little piece. It's nice. You can also add your vegan Parmesan on top. Here we go. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake your booty. And as you would have guessed, I also topped this with chilies, as usual. Excelente. Keep in mind, if you do try these vegan cheese recipes or other vegan cheese recipes, It's not going to taste exactly the same as the original cheese, but it's going to have a great taste on its own. These are quite tasty vegan cheeses. And you know what's in them. There's not a whole lot of different ingredients in them. You can control the amount of sodium that is added. That's the great thing about making your own. And you can always pop your vegan mozzarella in the freezer. I have part of it in the freezer, and I'm gonna see if it grates any better. The grating of the vegan mozzarella is a little bit awkward. It's not quite the same as the original dairy mozzarella. However, it works quite well on this pizza here. You can just always cut little pieces and put those on the pizza instead. After it being in the freezer for a few hours, it shredded beautifully, and I recommend doing this right before you're gonna top your pizza. I topped my pizza with some tempeh crumble, in case you were wondering. There's a few other ingredients. You can take a guess, pop them in the comments below. I'm also quite curious how this would work out by reducing some of the tapioca starch and the coconut oil as well. It probably won't be quite as melty, but if you do try it out, feel free to come back and share down below. Remember, if you've enjoyed this video in any way, shape, or form, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell notification icon so you don't miss a single video. This is JJ signing off, keeping things interesting in my kitchen and in yours. Bon appetit.